next speaker is Jessie Pease. Jessie, this is your fourth year? Fourth. Yeah, sorry. Yes. Jessie is about to graduate. So, one of the things our esteemed department chair said to this afternoon as he was talking to the incoming freshmen is how much we value young women being involved in technology, in computer science. So Jessie's here to tell us what she knows about it. So I'll leave her to it.
Cool. So in my 10th grade U.S. history class, we had a homie of the day. So every single day our teacher would decide on the most important person from that time period that we had learned about. And about halfway through the year, I was like, okay, well there are only 3 homegirls of the day out of all of the ones around the entire room. And I thought, well that's a little bit screwed up. And it turns out that less than 11% of the people that we read about in our U.S. history books are women. Yet, over 50% of our population in the United States is women. Doesn't make much sense. I don't know, do the math. So today I'm Jessie, and I'm here to talk about iconic women in tech history. So that we can all kind of see, like, what are some women that's done some great things for us. Woo-hoo. So our first homegirl of the day is, be there just a second, Ada Lovelace. So she was born in 1815, raised by a single mother, and at a very young age she absolutely loved math. And she had a mentor named Charles Babbage, and that he became her mentor about the age of 16. And he was famous for inventing this thing called a difference engine. Now the difference engine was this giant automatic mechanical calculator designed to tabulate polynomial functions, aka makes computations faster and more exact, and you don't have to do it by hand. Now Ada was working on the difference engine, taking notes, and also writing programs for the difference engine. So she wrote the first computer program ever, and it was used on the difference engine to compute Bernoulli numbers. So you may have heard of Ada before by being the first computer programmer. So our next homegirl of the day is Grace Hopper. She was born in 1906, and as a kid she loved to take apart alarm clocks just to see how they worked. She ended up getting her master's degree from Yale, and she was a professor before joining the military at the age of 37.
Now, how did you know so much about computers then?
I didn't.
How did you?
The first one.
Yeah.
So Grace Hopper is really, really cool. She basically worked on the first computer, and she went on to write the first programming language that had a compiler as a companion, and it was called A. And she really believed that programming languages should be look more like written English. So that's our next home, or our last homegirl. So the next homegirl of the day is Betty Holberton. She was born in 1917, and she went to University of Pennsylvania. And in her first math class, her professor asked her if she'd be better off raising children at home. So she changed to journalism. It was really unfortunate. But during World War II, she was hired as a computer for the U.S. military, a physical computer. And she worked on the ENIAC machine with 5 other women, which was the first electric general purpose computer, and it was used to calculate military stuff. So kind of like the difference engine, but it was electric. And it was capable of being reprogrammed. And she ended up becoming the chief of that team and created the first statistical analysis package for the U.S. Census. And, fun fact, created the numeric keypad and made computers beige. Apple has decided that's not okay. But, anyways. So, Anita Borg is our next homegirl. So she was born in 1949, and she loved math growing up, but she ended up working for an insurance company. And while she was doing that, she taught herself how to program, and then went on to earn her PhD in computer science from NYU. Now she's famous for coming up with the Grace Hopper celebration of women in computing. Her goal was by 2020 to have 50% women in tech. Okay, that's 5 years, let's go. So now that's the largest conference for women in computing in the world. And our last homegirl is Marissa Meyer. She was born in 1975, and she attended Stanford, which she intended to be pre-med, but later switched to symbolic systems. And she got her master's in CS. And then in 1999, she graduated and became the first female engineer at Google. Now, a lot of her famous accomplishments, she has a very big attention to detail, and so she basically created the Google search. She was also a mentor to both students at Stanford and students at East Palo Alto Charter School. And today, she, if you don't already know this, she's the CEO of Yahoo, and I think personally for me, she's really redefining the female engineering role. Is she's showing that like anybody can do it, and anybody like can go on and become a CEO, and yeah, I know, I just really look up to her. She's also blonde, which is cool. So who's next? Who will change the future for the better? Who else is going to go on and make history? Jessie.
Jessie!
That's lame. So you are. You're next. So what will you accomplish, and how will you change the tech industry for the better? And you get yourself in those history books.